Last Sunday at Austin, Texas, history was made as Tyler Reddick became the first driver in NASCAR history to win the first 3 races of the season. Today, he could go for an unprecedented 4 in a row. The last time a driver went 4 in a row was Jimmie Johnson in 2007. Where did it happen? Right here in Rattlesnake Valley. However, the Jumpman's driver has some stiff competition, ready to strike at any opportunity that awaits them. What lies ahead of 37 drivers today is what many say is the real start of the season. Who can stop the Jordan Empire from continuing? We're 500 miles from finding out. It's race 4 of the 2026 NASCAR Cup Series season. It's a Straight Talk Wireless 500 from the Phoenix Raceway here in Avondale, Arizona. And in typical Phoenix fashion, it is hot and dry here in Avondale, Arizona. Temperature in the high 80s, low 90s, a slight wind 8 miles an hour east-northeast through the racetrack with a slight gust of wind at 17 miles an hour. But most importantly, no chance of rain. We are set to go racing here today. Welcome everyone back to episode of MDK RaceDay. My name is Jet. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Yes, that is right, ladies and gentlemen. We are back once again for what many people say is the first true start of the 2026 NASCAR season. We start off the season with a super speedway, a hybrid drafting track, and a road course. Now we're going to the more meat and potatoes of NASCAR and 1 mile track. Like I said, there have been 3 races so far. Only 1 winner, and that is Tyler Reddick, who now has more than a race lead over his teammate Bubba Wallace in the point standings. 3rd is Chase Elliott. 4th is Ryan Blaney. Shane Van Gisbergen, look at that, 11 positions in the top 5. Joe Logano, Daniel Suarez, AJ Allmendinger up 10, and Michael McDowell up 11. Carson Hocevar in 10th, Chris Buescher and teammate Brad Keselowski in 12th, with William Byron. Zane Smith still holding strong inside the top 15 with Kyle Larson and Ryan Preece above the cut line. Then below is Ty Gibbs, the biggest mover at plus 16. Noah Gragson, Ty Dillon, Ross Chastain, the biggest loser at minus 9, down to 20th. John Nemechek 21st, Kyle Busch, and Denny Hamlin in 23rd. Busch, official beer of NASCAR and proud sponsor of the Busch Light Polo Award given to the fastest driver at each NASCAR Cup Series event. Busch Light congratulates Joey Logano for his 34th career pole in his 619th career start. It's his 3rd pole at Phoenix and his 1st pole since Loudon in last September. Wins pole with a speed of 135.357 miles per hour. Since 2020, Busch Beer has invested more than $50 million, being a premier sponsor of the NASCAR Cup Series. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for the 2026 Straight Talk Wireless 500 from the Phoenix Raceway. Starting alongside Joe Logano is another Phoenix former winner in Kyle Larson in the 5. How about Road 2? An excellent qualifying start for Austin Cindric and Daniel Suarez. A great start so far in his time at Spire, starting in the 4th position. Road 3 is a pair of former Phoenix winners Ryan Blaney and Ross Chastain in the 1. Carson Hocevar, the Hurricane, starting alongside Jumpman Tyler Reddick, trying to go for an incredible 4 wins in a row that has not been done since 2007. And running out the top 10 is William Byron, who won here back in the spring of 2023. And Josh Berry, a great run for him, starting in the 10th position. Denny Hamlin trying to get revenge for what happened here last fall after he dominated the race and ended up coming short not only of the win, but most importantly the championship. So alongside the defending spring winner here at Phoenix, teammate Christopher Bell. Row 7 has Ryan Preece in the 60 and Ty Gibbs with some new colors in the AMP Toyota starting in the 14th position. Row 8 has John Nemechek and Michael McDowell, Chris Buescher and Shane Van Gisbergen in row 9 with rookie Connor Zilisch and Chase Briscoe, who won here for his very first Cup win in Phoenix here in spring of 2022, rounding out the top 20. Row 11 is Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Riley Herbst. AJ Allmendinger and Zane Smith make up row 12. Row 13, Austin Dillon and Chase Elliott, who won here in the fall of 2020. Austin Hill, making his first Cup start this year, starting alongside Bubba Wallace in the 23 ride, with Kyle Busch, a former winner here at Phoenix, alongside Todd Gillen in the 34. And round out the final 4 rows, Anthony Alfredo in the number 48 car, replacing Alex Bowman, who has been sidelined indefinitely due to vertigo. So alongside him is Eric Jones in the 43, Ty Dillon and Cody Ware, Noah Gragson and Cole Custer, and rounding out the 37 car lineup, Brad Keselowski in the 6 car, who did not post a qualifying lap due to him crashing in practice. And 1 driver will be starting at the rear for this race, and that will be Zane Smith due to the team making unapproved adjustments to the underbotting during practice and qualifying. And as a result, they will start at the rear, and the car chief, Will Norris, has been ejected from the event. And now it's time for us to make the call. Very simple. I ask you guys a simple question. What do you think is going to happen for every race weekend? I make that post on my discussion board right here on YouTube, so make sure you go ahead, get that out there, and get your opinions, and they could be featured on the show. The first one comes from Motorsports Fan 17. He says, even though Phoenix is Tyler Reddick's worst track, it will definitely be his most impressive performance if he could be able to win this weekend and become the first driver to win 4 races in a row since Jimmy Johnson in 2007. Yeah, and like I said at the beginning, ironically, that feat happened right here in Phoenix, although it was in a completely different configuration. But yeah, I mean, a lot of eyes are on Tyler Reddick. Can he do it? Can he be able to go ahead and win an unprecedented 4 races in a row? It's going to be tough. It's going to be really, really tough for him to do that. I just don't see that being a possibility because, like, you know, like what you said, like you mentioned, it is his worst racetrack. And so I do feel like that's going to be extremely tough for him to be able to pull off. He is starting not bad, but I think we look at the competition that he has to stack up against. The Fords, the Penske's are looking strong. Even some of the Chevrolets, Aspire teams, they are looking strong. Tyler Reddick was not flashy at all in practice, so I don't think that is going to happen today. Grain Forrester R6R says, I predict Denny Hamlin on a revenge drive will edge out Austin Cindric for the win. Well, yeah, maybe, but I don't know. Denny Hamlin also, kind of like Tyler Reddick, didn't look all that flashy in practice as well, especially on the 10, 15, 20 lap run. I think all of us would like for that to happen, but again, I feel like you have to look at Austin Cindric as a potential candidate to win this race. We're going to talk about him in a little bit because he has a fast car. And finally, Danny Alex 7152 says either Logano or Blaney wins tomorrow, although Cindric was quick too. Question is, can Cindric's team perform well the entire race? And the reason why that is because this race is going to be a very interesting one. We have more horsepower, up to 750 horsepower. We have a much softer tire. We saw during practice the tire fall off was really good on 10 after 10 laps, even greater after 20 laps. So this is going to be a race where it's more about tire management. This is going to be more traditional NASCAR race, I feel like, where it's all about tire management. Austin Cindric was fastest in the 10, 15, 20, and 25 lap average, which is insanely good. And he's starting third in this race. You do have to consider him, although Cindric has never been in a position, or at least from what I've seen, where he's had a fast car and they've been able to put themselves in contention from start to finish. I just don't see that happening. However, and the reason why is because I also feel like this could be, like I said, a tire management race where we could see drivers maybe push the issue or teams push the issue. Very interesting that we saw 3 drivers have blown tires. 2 of them came from the Ford stable, Chris Buescher and Brad Keselowski. Riley Herbst, I should say, had I believe a left rear tire that went down. So we saw some tire issues. We saw some great fall off. A lot of drivers maximizing, trying to feel like, okay, how good is my car on the long run? Usually we see with these types of practice sessions, they do 5 or 10 laps, but we saw them do 20, 25 laps. That gives us a sign that, especially tomorrow, it's going to be a lot, or I should say today, it's going to be more hot, a lot slicker racetrack, again, with more horsepower, compile that with a much softer tire. All is recipes for what could be a very exciting race. Despite that, there will still be some usual contenders. One of them will be Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney is insanely good at Phoenix, especially in the next-gen era. 8 times we have raced the next-gen car at Phoenix. Of those 8 races, Blaney did win a race, but 7 top 5s. And by the way, those are 7 pure top 5s he has finished in these last 8 races. Not a single pure top 10 that Ryan Blaney has. And by the way, I think the one time where he did finish 28th, he was running, I believe, in the top 5, was still running very strong, but had an engine expire. A 5.75 average finish led 286 laps, including 4 second place finishes. That is domination. If you don't have Ryan Blaney in your lineup, I don't know what is wrong with you, but he is not the only way to look out for. Look at the Spire guys. Suarez with a much better start to the season than I think. This is probably, I think, his best start ever in his Cup Series career. Him and Carson Hocevar were both really fast in practice, both in the top 5 across all averages. Insanely good. But one driver, or one team that I feel like that you could see struggle is Hendrick. Despite Kyle Larson finishing in second, he did say in his post-qualifying interview that he was not happy with the car. And traditionally speaking, Phoenix has not been one of Hendrick's best racetracks. They've run well there, but not been like the track where it's like, oh, you got to watch out for Hendrick. This race, much more spread out. different Chevys, like I said with Spire, seeing a little bit of Penske, seeing some Gibbs up front. It's much more spread out than a typical Hendrick or JGR battle, like what we were probably used to seeing. But regardless, it will be, I think, a very, very exciting event. As we take a look at our Fantasy Live lineup, we have over 50 members on our grid, so make sure you go ahead, sign up to the Fantasy Live. Again, type in MDK Racing, click on that, and join the league. Richard Morris, 22, I'm just looking at my notes here, 633 points. He has a 22-point lead over HMS Fan for Life. Third is Speed Racer, Awesome Avery, Pat, Denny Delivers YouTube, Catskill Mountain Racing, Slow Motion 92, Cole Rainwater, Just Joey Fan 22, right at the top 10, 99 points behind the leader. I think I'm like 20th, so I'm like way behind, but hopefully I think maybe I can catch up, make some ground a little bit. How I'm gonna do that is through fantasy, because my fantasy lineup, very different. This could be a fantasy lineup where it goes very well or goes very poorly. Because I got the 3 Penske drivers. I got Joe Logano and Ryan Blaney starting off. I do have Austin Cindric in my garage. I got Denny Hamlin, because I do feel like while he may not shine, wasn't all flashy in practice, I feel like because this race is all about tire management, preserving your tires, Denny is one of the best at it. That's why I include him in there. And I got the 2 Spire drivers of Hocevar and Swartz, because they are both really, really fast. But the driver that I do have winning this race will be, of course, Ryan Blaney. The guy is just too good. I mean, 4 second place finishes in the last 8 races, 7 top 5s. He is bound to win a race. And again, Ryan Blaney is insanely good in long runs. Anytime you think of long run speed, you got to think of the 12 car. This is going to be a race where we're going to see long runs happen. Because of that, I got Ryan Blaney. I think he's going to win today here at Phoenix. But those are my thoughts. What do you think is going to happen? Let me know in the comment section down below. As always, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more content. Until next time, my name is Jet from MDK. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see y'all next time.